I'm gonna go with option 2 because I can tell that he has pants on. That makes me feel safe. This one, the first photo, I had no idea what this was. Really should be up to the casting department to be like, well, this person really shouldn't qualify to be on this show. Hey there everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm having a little bit of a lazy Sunday here and I don't normally film on Sundays. However, we did all of our errands this morning, we went grocery shopping and all of that. And we don't really have any plans until later. And I was just kind of sitting here. I was like, you know what? Now is a good opportunity to do one of the favorite things and go through some of my saved posts on Reddit. If you've been on the channel before for a little bit, you've probably seen some of these videos like this one here, where I kind of go through and look at a bunch of photos, crochet photos, amigurumi, things like that. And sometimes they're like, what do you want to call them? Failures, not really failures, but like a lot of first attempts and cursed crochet and things like that. This one's a little bit different. We're going to be going through my saved photos or saved post, which just means it could be anything from something I thought was funny, something I thought was inspiring, or I just wanted to save later to talk about or just to reference. So hopefully that sounds good to you. It's a little bit different than what we normally do, but I do enjoy making these styles of video. So hopefully you do too. Let's get into it. You can grab your crafty project or whatever. I'm not going to do my usual intro. I will say if you do like this video, please give me a like and subscribe. But with that said, let's jump into it here. So starting off, just going into my save post here on Reddit. I love Reddit. It feels like the last bastion of just like kind of unfiltered, real internet stuff, like it kind of was back in the day. A lot of those other social medias, they feel very curated and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff there as well, but Reddit just feels kind of like its own thing. It's very like raw, if you will. Anyways, starting off here, we have this, I think his name was Derpy. He's from K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, I did do a video where I made these amigurumi myself. I'll put it here. You can see a picture. He's technically on the wall somewhere over there. But the reason I saved this is because Woobles came out with their own kit of Derpy the tiger and Susan, the three-eyed bird, which I actually was a big fan of how that turned out. Now, I do have pattern notes for both those on my Patreon, so if you're part of the Patreon, you have access to those. But like I said, Woobles came out with their own, and I was considering for a second grabbing them, but their copywritten stuff has just gone so much. I think it was $240 for the two patterns, for the kits rather, and I know that there's an experience there. I really wish you could just grab the patterns, but then again, you need the yarn and everything. I just saved it here. I was gonna get it, but I decided not to. It was just too far out of my price range. Now I'm kind of happy that I didn't get them, only because I think the next day or a couple days after they announced the Wicked crossover collab that they were doing, and that one I did end up getting some. The thing about this one is you had to buy, from what I saw, you could buy the individual. You couldn't buy Susie and Derpy. You had to buy like the whole kit. And then there was a third kit, but it was just a hat. I don't know. But with the Wicked one, you could buy them individually. So technically there was like a whole set of them, but you know what? I said, I'm not spending all this money. And I did end up getting Glinda and Alphaba, so stay tuned for that video. But I do like this. This is cute. I like the eyes. I like the little things that you can't get in other amigurumi, like these specific safety eyes made for this are really cool. And sometimes they come with hooks and stuff. The hooks are nothing special. I do wish they were a little bit more than just like printed on there, because it feels a little cheap to make them like specialized or whatever. But anyways, super fun. Oh, and then I have this too because I was looking at Woobles. If anyone got this, let me know. Was it worth it? What did you think of it? I skipped out on it. It's just, again, too expensive. Okay, we have to talk about, I think it's Poltokia? I'll get the name here somewhere. I can't remember how to say it. It's basically the new Pokemon meets Animal Crossing crossover. And it sounds like they kind of took the idea from Pal World, who also has a very similar style of game coming out. There's some theories there. We won't get into that, but just the other day they announced, or put out a new trailer rather, and it actually looks like a lot of fun. The winning thing there was it's multiplayer, like full multiplayer, which even Animal Crossing is not. You can visit each other's islands, but this one looks like fully immersed. Like you live on the same island, you can build with other people. So let me know if you're excited for this game. I'm not excited for the new prices of Nintendo Switch games because they are bonkers. It's $100 just for the base game on the Switch 2, which like is, and that's not even cheap. There was a new game coming out. I'm getting on a side rant, and oh, what is it? I'll put it here, but it was $110 for the base game. I don't know what's happening. Doesn't matter. We're talking about this version of Snorlax, which if you don't know, Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon. I have a crocheted Snorlax. I'll put it here. It's in the bedroom right now. But this is the new version of it, and it's called a Mosslax. And essentially, it is a Snorlax that has been like sleeping so long that moss grew all over him. And he's a new Pokemon. They came up with variants for this game, even though it's like, it is a Pokemon game, but I wasn't expecting this kind of stuff. So this is very exciting. There's also like a Ghost Pikachu and a couple other new Pokemon, but this one definitely stood out to me because I have to make this. I don't know when I'm going to get the time because Christmas is like a month away. However, I really, really want to make him. And I think I could find a really cool yarn that would look like moss. This idea of it just being green, I think if we used something, I've seen people make like moss carpets and things out of crochet. I think if we applied that to this, it'd be really cool. So maybe a future project, definitely let me know in the comments if you would watch that. What else do we have? This is for all my cat people in the watching this video. I'm not a cat person, but I'm super allergic to them. I think they're always sweet and they always come up to me for pets, and because they know I can't. They're like attracted to me because I can't touch them. But this is like quintessential like cat behavior. It doesn't care. Well, that's not actually true. I'm sure a lot of people have cats that would like tear apart yarn. Cypress is kind of like this for a bit, but as soon as the yarn starts moving too much, he gets agitated. Fiji, my rabbit, on the other hand, probably would not care at all, but very cute and sweet. Next up, we have this raccoon wreath, which I've seen around. I don't know if I saw it last year, but this year I've seen it a bunch, and I really, really want to make it. I don't think I'll have time for this Christmas, but this is just so adorable. I really want to make it. I'll try and remember to put the pattern somewhere, but this is amazing. I really want to make something like this again, and the designer in me, I always want to do things myself freehand and change things. I feel like this would just go easier if I just followed the pattern, but something in me never wants to do that. I always want to make it my own, but so cool. Love that. Next up we have, not really sure what this is. I think when I first saw this, I thought that was a mouth with a tongue, but seeing it now, I feel like it's maybe a bow tie. They're asking which one looks better. We have option 1 and option 2. I think personally, I'm going to go with option 2 because I can tell that he has pants on. That makes me feel safe. And he also, I can tell that red is probably something either going on that he needs to get checked out, or a tie. But very cute. Is this a character that I'm not getting the reference of? Possibly something SpongeBob related. Okay, moving on. This is really cool. So I put this as inspiration because I recently got the Switch 2 as a gift for my birthday, and I have not bought a hard case for it because the original Switch 1 doesn't fit this. Obviously, it's the 3DS 2. The new one is, why do I keep calling it 3DS? I'm like my husband. It's not a 3DS, it's a Switch. The new one is much larger. So I have plans to crochet something. I've seen this version. I've seen also one that's a magic carp that I think is really cute. I like the idea of having the scales on it because it almost adds more padding. I'd get kind of worried if it was just one layer of crochet protecting it. It's not very protecting, but maybe there's a way to make it like a hard case as well. But really fun. I will buy a hard case. The only reason I haven't is because I think they're all boring. So this is a good like solution to that. All right, let's move on. This one looks like a funny. So this is a good one to make you laugh. Made a duck to cheer my man up. Boop. And he's just a little peep. Googly eyes make everything better. Just makes me giggles. Next up, we have another funny one. I feel like I was on Cursed Crochet when I started saving these. Meet Jeffrey. He's just a cool dude. Let's see if they have more to say, actually. Jeffrey was my attempt at making a bat body without a pattern. All right. This made me realize that I should probably use a pattern from now on. Listen, props for trying. I think Jeffrey's adorable. Listen, I've been guilty of this before where I'm like, I don't want to crochet hands or legs. Let's just like, just weave out some string and cut it and call it a day. Next up. Okay, so this is a tapestry project, and lately I've just been seeing so many cool tapestry projects. I have tried my hand at tapestry a couple times, tapestry crochet, a couple different actually methods of that. There's a couple of videos if you want to check them out. So far, it has not been for me. However, I keep seeing stuff like this and I'm like, it just looks so cool. So I think there's a project coming up in the future. I think I'll do something maybe a little bit more complicated and larger. I think that's my issue, is maybe I've been going too small. I did think that the little horse we did for my friend turned out pretty cute, but I would like to do something more complicated like this. Or there is that person, I think they're mostly on Instagram, and they're posting they're making the Stardew Valley map. I don't know if you've seen them, but that's fantastic. That's like a whole, I think they're going to be doing that for the whole year. They've been doing it forever, but that's really cool. Props to them. This next one, this is one I saved. I don't actually know why this is in here. This is, of course, Fiji. This is a video I did a couple weeks ago, which, to be honest, did not get enough love. People that saw it said that they really liked it, but the algorithm or something just didn't want it to be seen by everyone. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But this is Fiji. I made him a dragon for Halloween, and I think he turned out pretty cute. This one here, not everyone's going to get this, but if you are a Labyrinth fan, I think it came out like 1988 before I was even born. But this is one of my favorite movies, especially as a kid. I loved it. I loved the whole universe and David Bowie. And anyways, this is Ludo, who is one of the characters in it. And someone did a giant Ludo mantelpiece. It does look a little bit like they killed him, and this is like a trophy piece on the wall, but so well done, really cool. I've seen a couple amazing Ludos before, and they're just so amazing. So props to you. This next one is an accidental bikini, maybe. Why the heck did my granny square turn into a triangle? Probably missing a couple of stitches there on the end. I decided how to crochet last night, and I started to learn how to do a granny square by watching tutorials. It's turned into a triangle, which, listen, triangles are technically more complicated than a square, so you might be onto something. You've definitely been missing some stitches there. Hopefully you figured it out since then, but you could make a lovely bikini or something out of that. Gone. This is, again, googly eyes give me every time. I don't think I've ever seen googly eyes quite like this. I'm not sure what's inside them. It looks like little green peas or something. This is an adorable little squirtle. This would make a great gift. I actually think it's super cute. Definitely a little cursed, but adorable all the same. This one, the first photo, I had no idea what this was. A turnip or something with eyes. But then if we go to the next photo, it's a little duck, which from this view I actually understand, and it makes me, you know, he's cute, he's possible, but from the other ones he is looking a little stressed. Life has done him hard by. Don't throw him away. It's always good to keep your cursed crochet projects. One day you'll look back and laugh, I promise. This one here I just thought was so smart. No Swift, no problem. It looks like they've made a Swift out of like a Lazy Susan, some plastic hangers, some solo cups, some clips, which honestly super impressed by. I'm curious to know how well it works over time. Do they keep using it? The post just says, "Hello yarn people, I just wanted to share this mind-blowing DIY I made. If you do not have a Swift, I highly encourage you to make your own. I will link the video in the comments. It took a bit to make it stand and work, but I got there and did what had to be done. Gotta do what you gotta do. You can't always spend money on all this different stuff, especially if you're only gonna use it a couple times. This is really great." It looks insane, but really cool. If I did this to my dog, he would never come near me ever again. He would never forgive me. This dog doesn't look too sure of it either. It is very cute. This is kind of reminding me of the new knitting show. I can't remember what it's called, but with Tom Daly on it. I've been watching a lot of videos on there. Obviously some controversy around it. A lot of like bulky knitting and things like that. And people aren't super happy with it, but the second episode, they did do a knitted dog thing. I'll put the finished pieces here. Essentially, it's like Great British Bake Off meets knitting. Only the difference is obviously knitting takes a lot longer, and they get like 12 hours to do some of these projects, and it's like a lot of chunky yarn, a lot of team projects and team building, a lot of like cutting corners. If nothing else, it is interesting to watch. Let me know if you are also watching it. Are you enjoying it? What do you think of it so far? Oh my god, that's hilarious. I mean, I feel like in some places that could be... You shouldn't click next. I was trying to justify it, say, this could be fashion. Listen, if you watch fashion shows, they do weird, wonky things. The second picture. It definitely takes me out though. Oh my god. I mean, listen, it's good if you live somewhere very windy and snowy. It's almost like your own little protective hoodie. All right, everyone, it's not a drill. We have a slider. This one says, great grandma is back. I'm assuming this means that their great grandmother is making amigurumi or something. So it says the first slide is a bear, question mark. I'll let you be the judge of that. I don't know if I'd say bear. Ghost, maybe. Scary thumb, possibly. The second is a dragon bird, which I see the vision a little bit here more. I guess, possibly. And the third slide is her favorite. It is a dragon bird with a beak. Okay, I see this. I'm almost getting more like sea creature, maybe, of some kind. The eyes, the grainy photo, no idea really what I'm looking at. Again, just a reminder, we're not laughing at anyone here. Thank you for posting this. Thank you for making us giggle. These are hilarious. I think my favorite is the same. I think it's gonna go with the dragon bird with the beak / sea creature. It's so funny. I thought this post here was kind of interesting. I've never seen anything like this. I'm at a loss for words. This is by far one of the worst yarn barbs I've ever experienced. Mind you, none of these is a piece of yarn I'm actually working with, so I'm scared for when it's going to abruptly end. How could this possibly happen? Honestly, I have no idea. This is like a situation where like you don't have to take it back. It looks like there are 6 ends somehow, which don't even know how that's possible, unless something was chewing on it or eating it possibly, but this is wild. If this happened to me, I'd be definitely taking it back to wherever I got it from. This is what I'm talking about when I say really cool tapestry crochet projects. If you're a 90s kid, you probably know what this is, a Tamagotchi. You still love them so much. This is really fun. Like this. It's very clean. I'd be interested to know. They probably did some top stitching after just to clean it up a little bit because some of these lines are very clean. But again, it makes me want to do some tapestry crochet really badly. That's it for my saved post. I thought we could finish off this video real quick by just doing a little bit of a look at the Game of Wool, which is the knitting show I referenced before. Just to see what people are saying about it, because I know it's kind of like a current trendy topic to talk about. I'm obviously not a knitter myself. I have tried it a little bit, and I have intentions to get into it a little bit more, but who has the time? It never seems to happen, but I will one day. I have all of the stuff to do it, and I do have a project cast on right now. I just have to pick it up. So if I do a little search here for the Game of Wool, there are a bunch of posts here. I'm just going to click on the first one because it seems like the most popular one, and it says, anyone else watching the Game of Wool and furiously questioning how they cast these people? Which I question this myself because it's kind of supposed to be the best knitters in, I don't know if it's Britain or in Europe or whatever it was, yet there are like really seasoned knitters who have been doing this for years, decades, and who know everything. And then you have some people who are like brand new, like have only been doing this a couple years, a year, and who are much younger, which I understand, but it doesn't feel like they're on a level playing field at all. So I kind of question this as well, but this post says, in a competition labeled Britain's Best Knitter, we have a competitor who didn't know they twisted their pearls and another who has never knitted intarsia. Again, I'm not like super well versed in all the different knitting terms and stuff like that. However, I'm assuming twisting their pearls is similar to like how you crochet yarn under, yarn over, or doing different things can change the way that the yarn builds up and everything like that. And another who has never knitted intarsia, which I've done intarsia style for some of my tapestry, so I do know that one. I love when people take up knitting. I think it's a fantastic, fun hobby. I love it less when new knitters, I think they are in the running to be in the country's best. Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily their fault. I don't know how the casting went and all that stuff. If they reached out to them or the other way around. But it really should be up to the casting department to be like, well, this person really shouldn't qualify to be on this show. I wouldn't blame them for that. Edit to add, this is on the producers and casting directors, not the knitters really. Okay, there you go. So they literally said the same thing after. But all the same, this is not high quality craftsmanship. I totally get that. And you can feel it in the show too. It's just a little bit odd to see that this is supposed to be like Britain's best, I guess. And it's a lot of like just like unfinished things. Episode 2, they were doing sweaters, and I don't think any of them were able to finish a full sweater. They had to do some kind of like sleeveless vest on one side and then like a different thing on the other to try and make up for it, because it was just too much. So this person says, generally, I think it's most people who would be qualified for Britain's Best Knitters saw the show, was going to turn out, and said, obviously, the blank knot will not be participating in that, which is fair. I think most knitters know that it is a slow craft. It's not meant to be rushed. And I think that kind of also affects like how people look at knitting. Who aren't knitters and see it and go like, oh, you can make a sweater in 12 hours, which is really not the case and is not something you should try to do. It's just too much for you physically, and it's not the point of knitting. It's supposed to be like slow and fun. I saw a video from an incredibly talented knitter who said that they didn't apply because they don't crochet, and the application asked if you could be strong in both. I guess the producers didn't really stick to that. From the 2 episodes I've seen, they have mentioned crochet a couple times, but it's usually in like context of like details and like joining things together. I don't think it's been that you could crochet your whole project kind of thing. It is very knitting focused, but it is interesting that they asked you to be very proficient in both. And at the same time, cast members who aren't even super proficient in knitting, which is not their fault at all. This person says, I also saw someone saying filming was basically 8 solid weeks because they had to account for how much time it takes to knit and crochet things. It's not like sewing or baking that you can do it in a couple hours, so that severely limits the pool of people who commit to it, especially as it's likely unpaid. Yeah, my hands would be destroyed after knitting for 3 days straight. This can't be fun. No, it sounds kind of like torture, honestly. Even crochet, that would be a lot. Now, crochet does work up a lot faster usually than knitting, but still, this is a lot to expect of anyone. And I believe I remember someone saying that they asked how long they can knit for a day, if they can knit for like a whole day on end. And that was kind of part of the qualifications, allegedly, which again, is just not okay. Like, they need to figure out a different system here, hopefully. Anyways, these go on for a long time, so you can go check out the Reddit posts if you're interested in reading all those. I thought it was just interesting to take a look at because, you know, it's kind of in the realm of what we're doing. I'm still like a fiber artist, and knitting is very much part of that, obviously. So I'm still watching it. I'll probably watch it all the way through just to see how it turns out. I would love to see like a crochet version of this because I think you could actually do it better, especially if you kept it in like the amigurumi world. I think that could actually be a lot of fun if you had a bunch of crochet artists or amigurumi designers go together and build something similar to this. I don't know if it would be varied enough, but I think there's a lot of things you could do. Or you could like mix it in with tapestry crochet and amigurumi, and then like obviously wearables and things like that, because crochet does build up faster. Now, of course, we have to still consider the fact that, you know, you don't want people crocheting all day long, but I think there's a world where you can make the crochet version of this actually work a little bit better. Now, I don't know how many knitters there are versus crocheters, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more knitters, which is probably why they went this route, because it's just a little bit more eyes on it. I think in North America, crochet has become really big in the past couple of years, but in Europe and other places in the world, knitting is still far bigger. I mean, I'm sure knitting is big in North America too, obviously. But anyways, I thought this was very interesting. Hopefully you did too. Thank you for just like hanging out with me for a little bit. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out my other crochet and chat and vlogs if you haven't seen them. Give me a like as it helps me grow the channel. Also, if you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed already? Please do so, as it also helps you grow the channel, lets me know that you love me. Anyways, thank you all so much for hanging out for a little bit. Also, thank you so much to my lovely patrons for being here and for your support. I could not do this without you, so thank you so much. If you're interested in joining the Patreon and getting access to my pattern notes, the community Discord, shop discounts, free patterns, and so much more, definitely check out my Patreon in the link below. I will see you in the next one, but until then, stay knotty, friends. Bye.